Hi guys, welcome back. This will probably be the third episode. We're going to put the final coat on our little module here on our project we made. It's had two coats. There's the two holes that were there, and our internal and our external and our butt joint around the back. And I have my little helper here, Emma. Now here is the top coat. It's an all-purpose gyprock cement. Now, we're not advertising anything here because there's many of brands out there. So if you go to your local hardware store, you can find an all-purpose where you can actually do 3 coats with the same compound. It just might take a lot longer to dry, that's all. This base coat dries fairly fast, within an hour, 3 hours, but I recommend if you can leave it overnight if you've got time, the longer the better. Let it dry properly, shrink back, and then prepare for the third coat. Now before you put your third coat on, give your tools a clean, the edges and the edge of your trowel. I tend to use my sanding block just to sharpen it up and take any dry burrs from the base cement off. Now I'll show you how to apply. We're going to go straight over these 2 holes. You can imagine if it's in your ceiling or the middle of your wall. We just put an even spread of top coat. As my box wants to slide away, sorry about that guys. But if you just do a nice even spread, the full width of the trowel, so you've got a nice even spread. That's pretty perfect like that. You don't even have to keep going over it. But it's all about pressure. Now if you feather off your edges, just like so, one more run over the top, there you go. It just needs a light sand when it dries. Now we'll skim to this patch here, which if you've watched the last video, you would have seen. Same thing, even skim over it. You don't have to go too thick. Okay, we're going to go straight into the internal corner now. My helpful camera person Emma is doing the filming. Now guys, an even spread of plaster both sides. Go to the bottom all the way to the top. Obviously this is a small module here. Feather off one side, feather off the other side, and we have an internal angle tool. Now I hold it like that. I spread my fingers and push out the sides. We go into the corner. I get a bit of mud and bam, done. If you see any little air bubbles, you can give it a second skim up. Now I know I might make it look easy, but it is. That's as easy as it is guys. It's not rocket science, but if you've never done it before and you're a bit worried about giving it a try yourself, I just showed you, it's pretty straightforward. Now after that second coat, don't forget to give it a scrape back. You have the butt joint here, the external corner there. Scrape off any dags, as we'd say. I've got to put my hand up here so this thing doesn't slide, but evenly I go a full trowel width both sides of the butt joint. Because we're coming up to an exie here, we're going to float across to the exie. As you can see, it's a bit thick there. We get a few air bubbles in there. Just add a bit of pressure. Okay, right from the bottom up into your corner. Now we'll feather off this end. Okay, now we'll just give it a light going over. There's a little bit of dag there, just scrape it out, it's no big deal. A nice and even spread. Apply the pressure evenly. You know, the tricky thing in this trade the hardest thing, the most important thing you learn along the way over the years is the pressure. See that? Pretty straightforward, guys. Nice even spread. That will sand off perfectly. Bit of a line here from where the trowel is, obviously. It's not going to be 100% perfect. That will sand out. The other side of the external. Again, just apply the pressure evenly. Go back over it. Pretty straightforward, guys. Feather off your edge. From the bottom to the top. You can scrape like that off the side and it's ready to sand. Step back a bit, Emma, please. So there you go, guys. That's ready to sand. Now this is all-purpose cement. Definitely leave it overnight to dry. It takes about 24 hours. But if you're in a hurry, put a heater on it. If you're in a warm room, if you've got the heater on. But if you're doing a whole house,